Hi everyone, welcome to Border Techs with stewiejp. I'm Stewie and this is the Tier 8 French light tank, the AMX 1390, being driven today by Staph. At this time he was in Hodor clan, but of course we all know, or maybe you don't know, he's joined 1AR because he wants to get better, so he's joining 1AR. But anyway, no disrespect to Hodor, I'm sure they're an absolutely awesome clan. In this battle on Tariq Coast, Staph is trying to get some marks of excellence on his 1390. The Tier 8 French light tank. Of course, it's an auto-loading tank. It's got a 6-shot auto-loader. And with APCO, it'll do average damage of 240, penetration of 248. If you don't think you need 248, armor piercing will give you 170 hit points. Millimeters of penetration. You can see that Staph is running food, strong coffee, the premium consumable for the French tanks. And of course, that'll help with his camouflage rating, as he's trying to spot so many tanks from this bush. It'll also help for his vision, which will help him spot those tanks, which he has just spotted, that VK4502B, as well as that big Japanese Oho. Maybe the Emil, I'm not really sure. And of course, it also helps with your rate of fire, your aim time, and the reload time of the clip. As he starts to put a bit of damage into the low, sets him on fire by the looks of it, continues to shoot as the low continues to burn. Or maybe he didn't. Maybe somebody else set him on fire because his damage counter isn't going. Yes, he has. His damage counter kept going up. 1,500, just under 1,500 hit points on the premium German heavy tank. The low got him down to 159 hit points. So out of that 1,650 hit points that the low started with, the Flying Elites picked up 1,491, I should say. As he starts aiming at the RHM Borsig Waffenträger, he's willing that gun to reload because he wants to get some more damage. He's going for these marks of excellence in this French light tank. If we zoom out a bit, we can't really see because he's in a bush. But let's see. We'll have a bit of a look when he's not in that bush anymore. 2-zip is the score. The enemy Emil and Oho have both been taken down. It's a Tier 10 battle. They're both the Emil are 2, which is a Tier 9, and of course the Oho, the big Japanese thing, has been taken down. We know that low is a one-shot for any other tank in the game. 2-zips the score. Nobody really pushing, or nobody on Staph's team going for the Western push, as he gets lit probably from that WZ132. Gets a shot into WZ132. Of course, that's team efficiency party, and he's probably trying to grind out some credits for the new Tier 10 light tanks, the experience for the new Tier 10 light tanks that are coming up. Tripping over my words like there's no tomorrow today. It's probably because I'm having a couple of days off and I'm pretty excited about that. 3-1 the score. The artillery has been killed on Staph's team. Looks like it was killed by either the Grill or the Leopard. Probably the Leopard. 4-2 the score now. As looking at the minimap, the enemy tanks really pushing hard on that western side. Staph's still got 5 shells left in his clip. He's moving back around to try and help defend the base. He's only on 512 hit points. He's taken a couple of shots from the enemy tanks. Definitely that WZ, but maybe some more. The enemy having a very big presence on this northwestern part of the map, really pushing into the base. They've lost an artillery piece already, the Tier 8 American. And it's just this IS-7 and maybe this IS-5 they're going to try and hold off all those medium and heavy tanks, which could spell disaster. Staph pulls back to a position where he can get a few sniper shots off into the TVP, the TVP T5051, the auto-loading Tier 10 Czech auto-loading, which is an absolute ripper of a tank. Of course, he wants to put some damage into it, help his team get rid of all those guns. There's so many guns on the northwestern part of this map. Staph really wants to have a crack at this and turn this game into a win. The enemy clawing back, making the scoreboard back to 5-all, but of course Staph's side looking like they're in a bit of trouble here. There's a few tanks dug in near the cap circle, and these tanks that are near the cap circle, they'll be safe from the enemy artillery, but they're not going to be safe from these mediums and heavies that I reckon they're about to start pushing in. Staph gets around to the back and the sides of the heavily armoured VK4502B, the tank that used to lead to the mouse. He picks up the kill just before that enemy tank aimed at his tank, and he's on the reload now, sticking with APCR because you don't want to lose penetration in a game like this. When your team's on 7-8, he's picked up 2,579 hit points of damage so far. 7-9 the score now. as the enemy Conway starts to blame his team, and that's what some people do when they die. Blame everyone but themselves, because it's never their fault, is it? Staff's found that enemy artillery piece, the FV-207, decides to leave him alone. Unusual for a light tank driver to leave an artillery piece alone. He's still loading though, and he's got AP loaded this time, which should be enough to put some damage into the artillery piece. The side of the Tiger 2 won't hold up, even against standard ammunition in this AMX 1390. Puts a shot, looks like that shot went into the TVP. TVP down to 678 damage as Staff looks for some nice cheeky snipey shots into the tier 10 autoloader. Nice shot into, that's the Patriot tank, the tier 8, the new-ish T26E5, the American Patriot tank, which was released not so long ago. His team starting to claw back now. Party gets taken out in the WZ-132. 10-13 the score now. Just Staff left and a T10, a tier 9 Russian heavy tank. I'd be very tempted to just to get around. I'd kill that FV, but looks like he's not going. He's taken a reload. He's going back to try and help the T10. 8.5 minutes left in this game, and you get the impression that's going to end badly with the score on 10-13. There's two tier 10 tanks left on the enemy side, the TVP autoloader and of course the Batchat auto-loading artillery. He lights the FV-207 again. He's obviously got a very highly skilled crew in his AMX 1390, even though he's running away. Of course the strong coffee would help, but even though he was running away, he still managed to light that artillery piece from around about E5. And again, he's lit the Batchat artillery, and he wants to get rid of this TVP first. Gets the first shot in. One more shot should be enough. Looks like he's running away, which tells me he's probably on the reload. Second shot misses. The third shot takes him out. And Staff doing the right thing here. Staying safe. Trying to get as safe as he can from that artillery piece. He knows that he'll be able to spot the French artillery piece before he spots him. There's no use spotting before he's got his clip loaded though, because there's nobody left to shoot him. 3 tanks left on the enemy side, the Batchat auto-loading artillery, the Repeatable Borsig Waffenträger at tier 8 tank destroyer, and of course that FV-207 that he lit up not so long ago. Any 3 of those tanks could kill him, maybe even with one shot. The Repeatable Borsig can do 500 damage a shot on its day as Staff comes around to try and pick a different angle on this French artillery piece. I reckon he's thinking if I get rid of the artillery first, the French artillery at least, that's the quickest tank on the enemy side dead. Now it looks like that tank is going straight for the cap. Maybe he thinks that that's where he is. He's aiming his way though. Staff does make his shot count though and kills him. Takes another reload because he doesn't know how long it's going to take to find that British artillery piece and the Repeatable Borsig Waffenträger. One of his dead teammates pinging the map to let him know where he thinks it might be. And of course, even though there's nobody else left on his team, Staff knows that there are people watching. He wants to let them know that he's reloading just for entertainment value and also for our good point of view. Now he's picked up 3,783 hit points of damage, 1192 spotted damage. Of course the spotting damage can't get any higher because there's nobody left on the team apart from himself, and as his gun's reloading, and this is what French auto-loading tanks are really good for, as you're taking a reload you can reposition halfway across the map if that's what floats your boat. 6 minutes left on the clock counter. That should be plenty of time to take out these 2 last tanks, as long as they don't take him out first. Remember, he's only on 502 hit points here on Serene Coast. He's heading towards their cap. Of course, a big advantage of the AMX 1390 is that it's pretty quick, so if the cap starts going off on the northern part of the map, he'll know about it and he'll have enough time to get back for the resets. 13-14 the score, 1 versus 2. The AMX 1390 at tier 8 versus the Repeatable Borsig Waffenträger and the FV-207 at tier 8. Tank destroyer and artillery. Of course, the big advantage that Staff's going to have here is running coffee, and we already know he's got a very good view range in this tank. He has spotted tanks from the other side of the map not so long ago. His view range would clearly be a lot better than both of these tanks, who both appear to be on the cap. Now, 40 seconds sounds like a long time, but it can can be a long time, but it can be a very, very short time if you're trying to rush back for resets. 30 seconds now. He's about nearly halfway there. It's definitely going to get down below 20 seconds. 13-14 the score. Nearly 5 minutes left on the timer. And the object 140, just letting him know that the Repeatable Borsig Waffenträger is on full health. He was probably, maybe he was killed by that Borsig Waffenträger and he saw him before he was no longer lit. But he's just letting him know that be prepared to use more than one clip. Gets around here through there's only 3 seconds left. 2, 1. There's the Borsig. Shoots the Borsig. Now ignores. Oh, he cops a shot from the Borsig. Takes him down. You'd think that his gun's going to be able to reload before the Borsig does. It does. He's got 1 shell left before the big reload. Puts a reset into the Tier 8 British artillery piece, giving him another minute and a half before he caps out. Of course, that British artillery piece has left the cap circle now. He's on 5 kills, Staph, from Hodor, now from 1 AR. 5,116 hit points of damage, and that was just about 100 cap points reset. Remember, that clock was about to hit 0, I reckon, when those 2 tanks were on there. 40 seconds proved to be only just enough time to get back. I reckon if he was 1 more square away from his own cap, you reckon he would have been in a world of trouble. As he moves around, he knows he's nearly reloaded. He wants that FV 207 to have the lowest possible chance of landing a shot. Of course, the British artillery at Tier 8 doesn't have a bad gun, and depending on what kind of ammunition he's got loaded, he might only have to splash Staph from Hodor already. It's 1390 to do a bit of damage. So he's coming around from a totally different point of view, hoping that that British artillery piece is maybe aiming towards the water, towards the east, thinking he might come from there, or maybe towards the centre, thinking he might go back through those little gaps in the rocks. Of course, if he goes through the gaps in the rocks, it doesn't leave much room for error. He spots him behind the dead tanks. He's aiming his way, but that doesn't matter. 1 shot's all he needed to pick up his 6th kill, and of course the top gun on Serene Coast in the AMX 1390, the Tier 8, the absolutely awesome Tier 8 French auto-loading light tank. As we have a very quick look at the post-game battle results, we've got 2 more replays in this video featuring the AMX 1390. It won't come as any surprise. This is a Ace Tanker Mastery Badge for that game on Serene Coast. The spotting medal for doing over 1,000 hit points of spotting damage. The Bruiser, Duelist, 5 for effect, which won't come as any surprise, but have a look. These are the big ones on the right-hand side of the screen. The Defender medal for doing at least 70 reset points on the cap. High caliber, tank sniper, and of course the top gun. Have a look at all those tanks that he spotted, damage and kills. He had an absolute ripper on Serene Coast. Staph from Hodor now with 1 AR, 5,516 hit points of damage, 6 kills, 1787 base experience. That's without a double or a premium account multiplier. 1,787 base experience. That's the highest base experience score I've seen for some time. He fired 27 shots, 23 hit, and they all did damage. 5,500 damage, a little bit sniped. Nearly 1,200 hit points of spotting damage and exactly 100 base defense points. He lost a bundle of credits though, but he was pretty happy to ace it. Firing premium rounds almost all the way and working on those 3 marks of excellence. As we move in to game number 2, also featuring Staph, this time on the Siegfried line, and it's a defense game. Or it's an assault game, but his team are defending. It's another Tier 10 battle, which is good for experience. That's what some people don't realise. When you're in a Tier 8 tank in a Tier 10 game, the experience you get is multiplied. If you're a low tier, you get you don't have to do as much to have a really good result, if that makes sense. This time, Staph is platooned up with his old mate Twabies. Twabies is in a Tier 9 artillery piece, and of course he's trying to get some spots on his team, and he told me when he sent this that he's working on his marks of excellence. Now, I mentioned that in the last game, and now here we can see it. Now that he's not in a bush, you can see he's already got 2 marks of excellence on the AMX 1390's gun, and he's looking for a 3rd in this replay. 1 zip is the score as Staph takes a big shot from the M46 Patton, the Tier 9 American medium tank, brings him down to 677 health, but he still needs to be aggressive. He still needs to be spotting those tanks. He's picked up 1,147 hit points of spotting damage, and he's got his last shell in the clip, which goes a little bit wide. Again, he's running Strong Coffee is a premium consumable, and he just picked up 1,220 hit points of spotting damage on that AMX CDC, which Twaby's in his bat chat 1555555, the tier 9 French artillery piece. As he waits for his gun to reload, and I can tell you, I remember when I had the 1390 when it was reload, same as when I drive my bat chat now. When you're waiting for that gun to reload, you're really willing it to get stuck in and to reload as quick as you can. Of course, Strong Coffee would help with that, as would Brothers in Arms. Vents, I'm not sure if vents are being able to be run on the AMX 1390. I'm 99% sure that it is. I reckon it any tank that has a roof, if you like. It's only open tanks that can't run vents. I'm sure someone will correct me if I'm wrong. Anyway, his gun's loaded, shoots and sets on fire. The T11OE4, of course, looks like he's got an automatic fire extinguisher, and he put that fire out. Wargaming will be happy about that, because that's what makes them their credits. Shoots and tracks the Tier 10 American tank destroyer. That last shot either missed or did nothing, but the final shot puts another shell into the T11OE4. He also picks up some more spotting damage. He's up to 2,806 spotting damage, 1,909 damage that he's done all by himself. 6-3 is the score on this attack mode, and the enemy tanks, they're certainly pushing in, but look down here, a lot of enemy tanks sitting back and sniping in the southeastern corner as Staph runs around the field trying to spot some more tanks. There's still one or two tanks that haven't been lit, the artillery, the T92, and of course that Scorpion G. 6-3 the score as he wills that gun to reload again. It's just about loaded. He's got 12 premium ammunition rounds left and 12 standard armor piercing rounds left. 6-3, so you'd be pretty confident of the win, but he really wants to turn it into a really good game. He's loaded now, and it looks like his platoon mate is relocating. Of course, the Batchat artillery, the Tier 9 artillery, doesn't want to get spotted by anything here. I don't think he would, but he's just relocating, maybe to get a better shot on these snipey tanks back here, or maybe the ones at the back of the city. Staph not stuffing around here, getting stuck in straight down through the field. He's taken the field. There's a Batchat sort of out here. I don't know. He's got 3 kills, so he must be doing something, but it looks like the remainder of the tanks, apart from that T44, are all in the town. As he puts a shot into the FV 215B 183, he kindly offers his side, but he duffs that shot into the fence. Puts another couple of shots in, but he does take a shell from the Centurion. He wants to make sure he stays alive in this game. Artillery takes out the Scorpion G. Batchat kills the Centurion, and now it's just that camping T44. With only 2 shells left, he may as well not take a reload, because by the time his gun reloads, pretty sure all those tanks that are charging the Tier 8 Russian medium tank will have just about finished him off. We just saw the T44 fire. The STRV 103B puts a shell into him. Staph auto-aims, puts a shot into him. Is he going for the drown? Bit of a dog's act if you ask me, going for the drown, but the STRV picks up the kill, confirms the win, and Staph has a pretty good result in the end. Of course, you might say, yes, it's not an ace tanker mastery badge, but what's all that other stuff written there? That's his 3rd mark of excellence, folks. That is absolutely massive. A 3rd mark of excellence in an AMX 1390. It wouldn't be easy. You've got to remember, when you're playing light tanks, sometimes you get taken out quite early, and other times you just don't have good games. But 3 marks of excellence in the AMX 1390, that's a massive achievement for anybody, and I mean that. That's absolutely amazing. He did pick up a 1st class mastery badge for that, the spotter medal and the fire for effect, and he more than did his fair share. He did top the score charts with 1185 base experience, 2,638 hit points of damage, 2,806 spotting, and that's because he would have been talking with his platoon mate, and his platoon mate would have been telling him what to light up. He still lost a fair few credits. Of course, that coffee isn't free. It's 20,000 credits a pop, and of course the premium ammunition isn't free either, but not a bad result for Staph, picking himself up 3 marks of excellence in the Tier 8 French tank, the AMX 1390. As we move on to the 3rd and final battle, featuring the Tier 8 French tank, the AMX 1390. This one, pardon me, this one's been driven by Zeronized from EGP clan, and of course Zeronized is on Erlenberg. I couldn't even find it there where it was. He's on Erlenberg. He's on a mission too to spot at least 2 enemy artilleries and cause damage or critical hits to them. I'm not sure if he's going to do this in this game, but I haven't seen this game yet. He's fired up the little engine in the AMX 1390 Zeronized from EGP clan on Erlenberg. Again, it's another assault game, and again, just like Staph in that second battle, he's on the defence. But just because he's on the defence, he's still going to get stuck in here, see what he can do, see if he can light some of these enemy tanks and put a bit of pain into them. He's taking a little bit of an unusual route on Erlenberg. Well, it's not that unusual, I guess, but he's going down alongside the river. You can see on the mini-map he gets lit in doing so, and of course, when you get lit early on in a light tank, it could be good night Irene pretty quickly. Now, traditionally on Erlenberg, the team that starts from the south, quite often they push the east. The team that starts in the north push the west. But Zeronized from EGP, he's just basically done a loop. He's come down here and he's gone to try and spot some enemy tanks. He hasn't really spotted anything though, but he's firmly got his eyes set on the AMX 1390 on the enemy side. He cops a shot from him, but he does put one shot in, puts another shot in, and this is just going to be a case of who can not miss. And of course, Zeronized didn't miss, and he killed the AMX 1390 on the enemy side, which looks like it's one of the new Korean players. But 2-1's the score. The VK100 01P, the new German heavy tank, the new road to the mouse, has been taken out early, as has the 1390 and the Bulldog on the enemy side. 649 damage as he reloads his clip, and you'll see he's got a different setup to Staph in his French tier 8 light tank. He's got a camouflage net and two what are they called? Two toolkits, 2 repair kits, a small and a large repair kit. Now, he is on a mission to spot some artillery pieces and damage at least 2. Now, he spotted all 3. Or at least 2. He spotted the 2120. He spotted 3. He spotted the 2120A, the AMX 13 F3, and of course that S51 as he takes a reload. Now, I know what I'd be doing if I was Zeronized. I'd be thinking, I've spotted those 3. There was nobody else was far enough forward to spot those 3 artillery pieces. So he's done the first part of the mission to spot 2 enemy artilleries, and needs to, once he's reloaded his clip, he needs to damage at least 2 of them. Now, he spotted that 212A again. He'll be hoping nobody else kills him, but there's 4 enemy artilleries in this game. You'd imagine. Oh, is he going to get? He's going to get behind the thing. He's waiting for the gun to load. He's done it. I reckon he's done it there. I reckon he put a shot into that 212. His teammates are blind firing madly. So if he sees it, and if he sees that it's damage, he won't know if it was him. But I reckon it was pretty well aimed on the Russian Tier 9 artillery piece. Still 3 arties left in the game. The 2120A, the M53, M55, and of course that S51. The dead-end artillery that doesn't really lead to anything else. He's still got 5 shells left. He's pretty confident that he's damaged the 212. And there we go. There they all are. He needs to land at least 2 more shots into 2 different artillery pieces. He's going for the Centurion. He's not lit. He's got 4 shells left in his clip. Needs to damage 1 artillery piece that is not the 212. Looks like all these enemy arties are pushing up this road. 5-3's the score, 1712 hit points of damage. As Zeronized, with his 4 shells left in his clip, start pushing towards this big bunch of tanks. Of course, he wants to be careful he doesn't just get blown away here. Remember, his mission is to damage 2 arties, as well as spot at least 2, which he's already done. We know he's already done that. Moving up here, the auto aim's on the American arty, which is turning back towards him, showing great restraint here. The E50 is coming round. E50 put a shot into that M53, M55. He picks up the kill on him, and he picks up the kill on the Russian. And now is he gonna kill the S51? He is. So he's killed all 3. So I'm pretty confident that he's got the mission in that. He's picked himself up a top gun for that little engagement. He has been taken down to 164 hit points, but I tell you what, all those tanks that were sitting here, look, they would have been overrun by these mediums anyway, but he's just made it a little bit easier for his team by getting stuck in. He did cop a bit of damage, which, you know, often for obvious reasons, like tanks don't like being damaged, but he put his clip to very good use, taking out 3 artillery pieces in 4 shots, which is absolutely awesome. And you'd be pretty confident that he spotted them early. So I reckon that'll be his mission. So I'm always pretty excited when I pick up a mission. His gun's loaded now. The Centurion 7-1 down to a 1-shot on 91 health. Is he going to be brave enough to poke? Of course, Zeronized is also a 1-shot for any tank left on the enemy team. Luckily enough, there's no arty, so he can be out in the open and not be too worried. The score's on 12-5, and he knows it's going to be a win, but he wants to maximise his chances of picking up an ace tanker or maybe some other medals as well. 13-5 the score, 2,303 hit points of damage caused that we've seen, 383 assisted damage. Auto aims on the E50, picks him up, aims really quickly onto that defender, and he's tracked him, and now he's just going to unload. And farm damage on the Tier 8 Premium Russian Heavy Tank. One more shot should be enough for the last kill of the game. He picks it up, 8 kills in the end, and a comfortable win on Erlenberg, 15-5, as we have a very quick look at the post-game battle results. It's an Ace Tanker Mastery Badge, which he didn't think would happen on Erlenberg on the AMX 1390. Bruiser, Duelist, 5 for effect, the Radley Walters medal, which is an epic medal to pick up, especially on a light tank. The Pascucci's for killing 3 artilleries, high caliber in the top gun, and of the tanks that he initially spotted, he definitely spotted the S51, he definitely spotted the 212, and those other 2 artilleries as well, the M53, M55, and the AMX 13 F3. So he would have comfortably got his mission for spotting at least 2 and damaging at least 2 enemy artilleries. But that's not all he did. He absolutely ripped. He top damaged 3,889 hit points of damage, 8 kills, and that's what got him that Radley Walters. 1,509 base experience, 22 shots fired, 20 hit, and a little bit of assisted damage too, 6,684. Would have thought that would have been a bit higher because he was right up the front all the time, but maybe these friendly artilleries weren't aiming at the tanks that he was lighting up. That's probably exactly what happened. Handy little profit there. Of course, he only used standard ammunition, and I don't think he must have used his small repair kit, going by that 1,500 cost there. Would have been 40,000 if you had a premium account, but nonetheless, that was an absolute ripper. It was 3 ripper games featuring the Tier 8 French light tank, the AMX 1390. Thanks for the replays, lads. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take care, and see you all next time.